Hey everyone, in this session, let's understand the concept of async, await, by using a real world example. Let's use fetch to make an API call to an actual service. In this case, I'm using JSON placeholder. This is kind of a fake API service, public APIs. We don't need any key for these. So this is very good for trying out API calls and doing stuff locally. It has posts endpoint and stuff. We are going to use posts and users endpoint, and we're trying to get some data and see how we can receive it in our program and how we can process it. So going back to code, over here, fetch API makes an API call, gets the response. So that thing is not going to happen instantaneously. So it returns a promise, so we can use it inside an async function, right? So let's create an async function. Let's call it as get data. We can pass two parameters here, one for user ID, one for post ID. Okay, and the way we make the call is very simple. We'll simply use await, and we use the word fetch. Inside the brackets, we will simply provide the API. So whatever user ID we pass will be used here, and that user details will be retrieved, and we can take that data or take whatever they send back inside a user variable over here. Similarly, for posts, we can simply do post. Instead of users, this is going to be a post and post ID. So whatever post ID we provide will be used here. Okay, and at the end of it, we can simply display the details. Okay, and then at the end here, let's make the call, get data. Let's say we want to retrieve third post and third user and fifth post, for example. And we can see the first call response is this one. It contains a lot of data. We can get rid of that. This is the response for second one.
Hey there. If you're finding this video helpful, you'll love our full online course on JavaScript with node.js. It goes even more in depth and covers everything you need to know. Check out the link in the description to enroll and take your skills to the next level.
From the response, what we are looking for is actually just this part, just this JSON part, right, for the third user. So what we can do is, in this case, we can use a JSON parser. So what we'll do here simply is, whatever response we receive, because this is returning a promise, we can use then what we want to do, then whatever is the response, from that response, I just need to get JSON. So there is a readily available method which is called as response.json, which will parse and return the JSON value. So we can simply reuse this over here as well. So instead of giving us all the raw data, it'll give us that specific JSON for the user ID that we are looking for. So when we will clear this and rerun the program, we can see now for this one, we are getting the user for ID 3 and the post with ID 5. These are the two responses. Okay, now how can we club them together? Because we are using two await one after another. The second function call is not dependent on the first one, so we should be able to use the promise.all, right, so that we can run them in parallel. Can we do it here? Yes, we can. So we'll do promise.all, and what does it do? It accepts an array of promises, right? So we will simply add it here, and this part we can take it out, so we don't need await as well. We will say await promise.all, and whatever response you provide, just put it in this array. Let's call it as result. and over here we can do result of 0 and result of 1. So result of 0 will be the result for user, result of 1 will be the result of post. So when we clear this and rerun the program, it's pretty much going to do the same thing, but we can now run the two await calls in parallel mode instead of running them one after another. You can further modify this. Instead of like getting into a results array, you can simply say like destructure this array and give me the output in the two variables, something like user comma post, and simply display user and post here. That is also fine. So instead of accepting the output inside an array and then getting the array output into a using array of 0 and 1, we can simply destructure the array saying I have two variables, user and post. So first element of the array goes here, second element of the array goes to this variable. That is also fine. So we clear this and rerun, again the same thing, but it's just a little bit better of doing the programming. Okay, so in this way we can use async and await to make real world API calls. You can play around this particular website. It's pretty good. It's free. It's a public API. You don't need any authentication. So you can try out various tests on this one. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know.
Thanks for watching. If you want to dive deeper into JavaScript with Node.js, don't forget to explore our complete online course. Click the link in the description to get started today. Plus, subscribing to our channel ensures you won't miss out on more valuable content in the future. See you in the class.